Welcome to The Awakened Heart, a podcast for healing women, a place where your voice matters, your body is sacred, and your journey home to yourself is honored no matter how winding the road. I'm Autumn Moran, licensed professional counselor, life coach, yoga instructor, and ultimately your companion on this divine, sacred path we call healing. This isn't the episode I plan to record, but it's the one that life invited me to make today, girls. A few days ago, I had gallbladder surgery, and as I've been resting and recovering, I've been sitting with what it means to let my body lead, to let myself be cared for, and to trust the process of healing, even when I want to rush ahead. I'm recording this from a soft blanket, a heated pad on my side, a cup of tea nearby. Less polished, more real. It's a reflection on healing in the real time for me. So if you're someone who's learning to rest, to surrender, or to release control, welcome to today's bonus episode. The day of my surgery, I was terrified. Leading up to it, I was in so much pain. I didn't know what was going on. I just thought I was having digestive issues, and it just got so unbearable. Went to the ER, and then I just thought they'd tell me, "Oh, you're making a big deal. Just take some gas X. You'll be fine. Go to the bathroom." And then they were like, "Nope, you need your gallbladder removed. This is what's going on." So the day of my surgery, from that moment to the time of my surgery, I was terrified because I had been in pain for days and I knew my body couldn't wait anymore, but my mind was so scared. I remember lying in the ER hallway, waiting for hours, feeling scared and alone, wondering if I would just be forgotten, if I was really going to get this surgery, if they were really going to fall through, or if I was just going to fall through the cracks. I kept thinking, I take care of people for a living. I hold space for their pain, their trauma, their fear. But in that moment, I had to let someone else hold me. I had to let go. I had to cancel a week's worth of sessions. I had to cancel all my plans. And I had to trust that I would be taken care of. It was hard to sleep prior to my surgery. And when the fear started to creep in, I put my hand on my heart and my hand on my belly, and I had a deep conversation with my cells. I literally imagined all my cells listening and responding and felt genuine love and compassion for myself. And just while they rolled me down to go into the OR and getting ready for surgery, I did it again. I talked to my cells. I talked to my body. It was what I needed in the moment, and it felt so good. The anesthesia came, the surgery happened, and then I woke up with a deep soreness through my core. I felt heavy and tight, and even the simplest things like breathing deeply or turning over reminded me how vulnerable healing really is. The day after, I was sore, bloated, exhausted. My body was swollen, my legs ached. I knew rest is what I needed to commit to, not to fight it, not to complain about it, but simply accept the rest and help that I needed and still need. This has forced me to surrender. I couldn't control my digestion. I couldn't control my recovery timeline. I couldn't control how swollen my belly felt. I found that I couldn't control even my life. I had to cancel my beach yoga classes when I was planning a special weekend class. Fingers are crossed. I'm not giving up. Hopefully November gives us good weather and it's not the end of the season. But talking about surrender, I do surrender to the fact that this may be the end of the season for me, and I'm sad about it, but I'm remaining hopeful and optimistic while also accepting that this may just be the reality, and that's okay. This is how life is meant to fold. It's okay. So in this moment, I honed in on my yoga teachings and surrendered to a greater wisdom. And for me, that wisdom, that surrendering to the wisdom, tongue-tied. For me, that means surrendering to the wisdom of my body, because my body isn't failing me, she's healing me. And I need to stop micromanaging her. As someone who holds space for others, it's easy to believe that being the caregiver is safer. But there's a deep healing in letting yourself be cared for by your loved ones, by nurses, even by strangers. I met another Autumn in the hospital, and it was so fun to see her, and she was so bright and bubbly. I just felt good every time she was around. Kudos to her. And we have the best name, right? We share a good name. I realized how much I resist help until my body literally demanded it. Lying in that bed, I thought of all the times I pushed through exhaustion, ignored pain, minimized my needs. Hell, when you talk about ignored pain, they would ask me on a scale of 10 what I feel. And then as I'm sitting in the hospital bed and I'm looking at their chart with the faces, I realize I minimized the shit out of my pain. So then I whispered to myself. I gave myself permission to rest. I told myself that I'm allowed to rest and that I need it. I'm allowed to be human. And let me tell you, I'm checking in with my body throughout the day. Oftentimes, she is stiff, bracing for impact. So I soften, I ground, I embrace, and then I check where my mind was at. I regulate quite often throughout the day. It reminds me of the book Waking the Tiger and the author's description of how deers regulate their trauma responses hundreds and thousands of times a day. That's how I am. I am just checking in, seeing if I'm in a trauma response, and softening my body, stiffening my reaction. The gallbladder sits right under my rib cage, near the solar plexus, the chakra for personal power, agency, and confidence. When I tune into that area, I realize how much I've stored there. Years of pushing, striving, proving, and doing. The surgery hasn't been just physical. It has been energetic. It has been a clearing of old patterns of control, of fear, of self-sufficiency. My drive to be self-sufficient has come up so much with my tarot readings. I'm often guided to let others in and to release my control on outcomes. So here I am, my dears, releasing the fear of sharing personally, letting you in, letting love and light in, and just being vulnerable and being myself, creating a community based on my authentic experience. And that's what I feel like I'm being told to let go of, to have faith that I'm cared for, to have faith that things will be taken care of, and to have faith that it will all work out without me struggling and gripping so fucking tightly. Every choice I've made since surgery has been a practice in gentleness. I choose soup over greasy food. Man, I wanted a hamburger so bad, but I chose a plain baked potato with some soup. I choose rest over productivity. I never want to clean my house, but boy, do I want to clean my house now. Choosing curiosity instead of criticism when I don't feel like it. I'm choosing the opposite. When my mind says you should be doing more, I choose the opposite and tell myself I'm allowed to rest and slow down. Am I perfect? No, but I'm being mindful and listening to my body. My son had this big old cookie and I wanted it so badly. I just wanted a bite. And I just, despite the temptation, I didn't eat it. It wasn't good for me. I knew it was just not, it was a processed food. And then I'm going to take another breath and tell you what I did instead. I treated myself to the smallest, tiniest latte I've ever ordered in my life. It was decaf, oat milk, and only the tiniest bit of vanilla flavoring. I mean, take away coffee from me at sad times. My body handled it well. It was one little treat. It's not the norm. I know I'm healing. So I'm human. I'm not perfect. I'm not making all the best choices, but even when I'm making a quote unquote bad choice, I'm trying to be as good as possible to myself, to my body. So here's what's been helping me. This is the practical side of things. This is what I've been doing ever since I shared with you about my labs a few weeks back, maybe a month now. I have been eating every 4 hours. I eat gentle foods like oatmeal. They gave me a regular meal after my surgery, and it was like bacon, omelet, coffee, grapes, and then it had plain oatmeal. I fell in love with warm, plain oatmeal. It is so bland, it is so boring, and it is so yummy. I am so glad I found that. So I eat oatmeal as a snack a couple of times a day. Broth, I had a soft taco with beans. And then, of course, my decaf oatmeal latte. I eat the shit out of applesauce. Those little applesauce pouches, those really help me. But I'm trying to eat as plant-based as possible just for my overall well-being. My hydration is on point. I'm drinking warm water or herbal teas. I find that drinking warm water helps my whole body and makes me feel so much better than drinking room temperature or cold water. So I'm often drinking just warm water. I'm walking slowly, I'm breathing deeply, and eventually I'll get back to gentle yoga. But right now I'm just making laps around the house or laps around the yard just to avoid blood clots and just to help with digestion. And I'm honoring my community, texts from friends, texts from the community, from my yogis that come. They all remind me that I'm not alone. And shout out to my youngest son, who's been my big helper. He has really shown up for me. I love him, love them both. But healing is not linear, but it's intelligent. The body knows how to rebuild itself if we stop fighting it. So wherever you are, whether you're healing from surgery, heartbreak, burnout, or simply exhausted, I want you to remember this. Your body is not your enemy. She's your oldest teacher. The pause isn't a punishment. It's an invitation to listen deeper, to let go of control, to practice gentleness in a world that glorifies doing and productivity. Healing is sacred work. So let's close with a breath, please. I would like for you to inhale and say, I am safe to rest. I am safe to rest. Exhale out. My body knows how to heal. My body knows how to heal. Thank you for listening and for holding this sacred space with me as I am healing along with you. I'd love to hear from you. Message me, comment, or follow. And as always, if you make it this far, I want you to know I offer private sessions virtually, whether you're healing from trauma, navigating a big life shift, or just ready to come home to yourself. I hold space for women just like you every day of the week, and this is my life's purpose and my blessing, and I just want to help heal the world. If that sounds good to you, go down into the link tree, click on that, click on the consultation form, fill it out, and let's have a quick 15-minute convo for free to see if we're a good fit. And if you need something good in your ears, listen to my badass playlist called Divine Women. It's also in the link tree. It will not disappoint. You are never too much. You're never too late, and you don't have to figure it out all alone, my dears. Until next time, may you be happy and free. May mine and your healing ripple outward to bless the world with happiness and freedom. Take care of you, and I'll see you soon.